There we go. Can you guys hear me now? We are jumping right into it today. How's everybody doing? It has been forever. Do I sound right? Do I even remember how to do this? How is everybody doing, man? I'm doing all right. You're at work right now? I didn't know what you were saying when you were messaging that. You said no respect for others. I was like, oh God, did I do something? Feel like it'd be weird if I didn't play a guitar in a guitar video. Hey, thanks, man. No problem. Don't worry. I'll slide in. There you go. Right for you, right there. Obviously, we're not repairing this one. This is mine. But we are going to give it nice, beautiful, shiny frets like this one eventually. So, I just wanted to hang out with you guys. As you guys all know, I haven't been doing. Let's switch to this big one. Let's see what this looks like. There we go. Yeah, guys. So I haven't been doing the card stuff as much lately. I've been busy doing other things, taking care of other stuff. But in the meantime, I figure since I do things like this, why not just share it with you guys and hang out and have some fun since it's been a little while. Right now, I have one of my best friend's guitars here. So I went over to his house. Let's see if I can give you a better view of this guitar. There you go. I went over to one of my buddy's house and he has this guitar. He's had it for a while, as long as I've had mine. And it was having some weird buzzing noises, and there's a big crack in it, which you guys will see close up later. And then also, like, it was just dirty. He hadn't played in a while. It had been sitting there, and so there were some buzzing frets and things like that. And so I was like, you know what, dude, let me take this home so I can go ahead and fix it up. Since I do that with my guitars, and I've done at least 9 of them now, where I've done full fret work and polishing and everything. Obviously, I've been detailing cars for 20 years, so I'm really, really good with like touch-up paint and things like that, so I'll have a very steady hand for this. And then also, I can wet sand and buff and polish and things like that, so I will easily be able to do that. So what we're going to end up doing is there's this big crack here. I'll show you a little closer in a bit. It does go through the guitar on the back on one part of it, so I have a very, very thin, this is like a thin like wooden shim that I made and I sanded really flat that we will put on the back. And then we're going to use this Stumac number 10, if you can read that, number 10 super glue. This is basically like water, and you just take a needle point, which I've wrapped with tape right there. We have a needle point that we are going to needle point into this crack and let it soak down in there little by little until it creates a speed bump. Once it does that, we'll be able to shave that off. I mean, that'll be tomorrow once we shave it off, and then sand it and polish it back. And as far as I can see what I look at, it'll be a lot harder to see the scratch. If not, it'll be gone. So I'm going to try and do that. And then also the frets. So I had already went, I don't even know where my giant ruler is. I have this massive metal ruler, if I can reach it, right here. If you guys can see this, I've used this before on the channel. This is what I'll use to check to see if the neck is warped. So I can hold it up against the frets, and then I can also hold it along the side of the neck itself. And you can get ones that have like little valleys in it so that you can just set it on there. But you can do it that way as well. And I can tell that the neck was actually still straight. So the guitar is buzzing. So it's really, really dirty. These frets are absolutely filthy. And the strings on it were super, super old, just really old. And so the tension probably wasn't there. That's probably where the buzz was coming from, was from just dirty old frets and no tension. And if anything, the neck truss rod might need just a little bit of relief in it so that it doesn't buzz. Other than that, the fretboard and the bridge are all dry as a bone. And so we're going to go ahead and do that as well. Check to make sure everything's tight. I will hand polish, compound and polish everything and seal it all nicely in the end. And it should be really, really nice. But I did already check the neck. It is straight, guys. It is straight. And then I also went through and checked every single fret by using a fret rocker, and you just rock it over 3, and then if it rocks, then you know that your middle fret is actually too high. So I went and did that already on this entire thing, so I don't have to sit and bore you with that. None of these frets are high at all, which is why I'm thinking that it's just dirty, and it might just need a little bit of relief. The humidity in his place maybe it caused it to slightly go the other way, but I'm not going to change the neck until we get it cleaned up and get fresh, brand new strings on it. Now, I'm going to have brand new strings on Tuesday, his favorite strings, Elixir, Phosphorus, Bronze. So I got those coming on Tuesday. And we're going to put those on after we clean it up. If it fixes it, we're good. If it needs a little bit of relief, we'll do that. The other option is that the nut way up here at the top of the guitar, there's the little bone nut up here where the strings lay into. Those might be cut a little bit too deep where we may need to go and get a nut. If we have to do that, that's fine. I can do that as well. The bridge looks fine. The little saddles here, they don't look very deep, so those are fine. They just need to get nourished. All that wood's going to get nourished. But that's where we're at, guys, and that's what we're going to do. So if you guys want to hang out and chill with me while I do this over the next couple days, we're going to do this every night if you guys are willing to hang out. We're going to start today with the crack, and then in between letting it sit, I got to tape up. I got a billion pieces of tape. I got to tape up the whole fretboard because we're going to be sanding these very lightly with like a... let's see, I think I have 1,000 grit, 2,000, and 3,000, and then I got a paper bag for 4,000. Very, very lightly, just to polish off this crud on top. And then we are going to use a polishing compound and a polish on those frets. And they're going to be a mirror shine, and they're going to be absolutely amazing to actually play. Now, this is going to be hours long, guys, so I 100% do not expect you guys to be hanging out the whole entire time, but if you do want to drop in and say hi every now and then, I'm cool with that. I'm just going to be working on this thing. If you say hi, I'll be happy. Is that my first guitar? No, it's not. It's not. I have like 9 of them. This is my buddy's guitar. This is my friend's guitar. Hey, what's up, Michael? How's it going, man? But it'll be fun. So anyways, we're going to bring this back down because the main culprit right now, I don't know if you guys can see this from that angle or not. Let's see if I can bend this. You don't necessarily need a crotch shot. I can come into here. I'll have to. So right here, and now I should be able to zoom in a little bit. If I go to that, I think I had it on there perfectly earlier to where you could see it. And then, of course, I went and moved it around like an idiot. But it's literally, it's right here. You can literally hear it. Maybe if I bring the mic closer. Right there. What's up, SCA? And then this very, very deep one. There's a giant scratch going down that entire thing right there. Let's see if we switch to this camera. There you go. Now you guys can probably see it a little bit better. This dark line right here that it rolls up, this it's right along a wood grain, but this whole thing is a scratch and then goes here. And this is a bit of a divot as well. Maybe I can... There you go. Okay, there we go. You guys can see if I get this light in it, everything's backwards right now. Everything is backwards. There is... That scratch starts under it. And then goes all the way up the guitar. So this whole area here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. 32 months. Oh, man. Pick 6. What's up, dude? Thanks, man. I appreciate you guys still sticking around still supporting the membership, even though I haven't been doing card content, man. I really appreciate you guys. I don't plan on going anywhere. I'm not going to be able to do cards at the moment, is all. Every now and then I will, just not right now. But I do appreciate you sticking around, guys. You guys are awesome. But first things first, this is called a cleat right here. I want to show you that. This is a cleat. It is a very, very thin, smooth, flat piece of wood, okay? Very, very thin. And what you do with this is, I reached in here like I'm noodling, all right? And I can feel that there's just one spot where there's a bit of a bump, which means that's the only spot where the crack actually went through to the other side. That's a problem with an acoustic guitar because with different humidity changes from wherever you're going, this wood is going to continue to separate. Excuse me. And so what you want is, it's basically like a patch on the back side. Now you have to use wood because if you use something else, it's not going to expand the same way that wood is. So it's eventually just going to fall off, or it's just not going to work. So you need to do wood. I'm going to put it within the same grain as it so that it's natural and it sits on there. And it needs to be very, very smooth and rounded, almost rounded smooth, so that like the sound and vibration, nothing changes and nothing gets affected with the sound of it when you put it in to the back there when you glue it on. So we're literally just going to put a bunch of glue and then just go ahead and press it where I actually feel the crack. I'm going to actually do that first so that it's on there, and then we're going to work on this whole part right there. I wish I could do, let's see if I can just zoom into that. I wonder if I could do that. That would be pretty cool. Razor cards. Camera control. Let's see if we can zoom a little farther. Oh, there we go. And then you'll be able to see that a little bit better. When I'm moving the light changes anything at all. Of course, moving around. We're friends even if we go months without seeing each other. We pick it right up. Dude, you're absolutely right about that. I'll say that about my regular friends too. Oh, there you go. You can kind of see it a little better right here. Now, I say the same thing, man, dude. I can go months and months, but like I still see everybody. It's just, you know, everyone's busy. We got stuff going on. I would like eventually to open up some more cards again, but right now this is what we're doing. We're gonna hang out. I'll be detailing a Harley on this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So if you guys want to watch me detail a Harley, I'll put the camera up for that too if you guys want to hang out. But forgive me if I'm not constantly checking messages. I'm going to try to, but I'm also just want to really get this work done. I'm really excited to work on this. It is a Takamine, I don't know how you say it. It's a G series. GJ72CE Natural. It's a very, very nice guitar. I think you paid almost $1,000 for this bad boy. And it needs some tender loving care, guys. Needs some tender loving care so that we can get it back to playability again. It's a really nice guitar. It sounds a very, very warm, deep tone. Excited to get her back up and running. But you know what? I did bring in a beer today. You know we're not going to be able to do this without popping open a beer, guys. I mean, come on. I did bring a Pabst. All right, I brought two. There we go. Cheers, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy weekend, everybody. Now, I'm going to have to put this on a table back here so I don't spill it all over this beautiful guitar. And here we go, guys. Here we go. Just giant crotch shot. I am so sorry, guys. Maybe we'll try to turn it. There you go. All right, here we go. So we're opening this up. We're going to get right into it, guys. This is, again, the StewMac number 10 super glue. It's basically like water. Basically like water. So thin that it is going to just run down that crack there. Don't repeat that. We're going to take our cleat. It's kind of just like a shim. What's up, guys? Great. How's it going, man? We are going to take our flat side. I did file one side a lot flatter than the other. Alright, we're going to roll that around. I got one of these very, very thin Q-tips. I'm not going to do this over the top of the guitar. I'm just going to spread this onto it here. Now I'm going to reach in. You might not see this, so I'm going to reach in again and just double check. It's right there. Right in the middle. And we are going to stab this thing right on there. Alright, here we go, boys. Oh, dude. Direct hit. Right on there. Alright. I know this probably looks insane right now. I am so sorry. I just want to be able to push up against it. And hold it there tight. Because it takes, it says 3 to 5 seconds to set up, I guess, but not under pressure. I mean, there's no air in there, you know? So I'm just holding it tight. My arm hurts. How's it going? I could not get my arm into this guitar any further. All right. That is on there. That is not moving. That has a new home, guys. That right there, wood will bind to wood. It was very clean in there, lightly sanded. I very, very lightly sanded it on the inside and on that glue, and it's very clean. We got that in there now, so now we can go ahead and start working on this scratch here. Let's see. I wonder if moving this light around. Oh, look at that. That actually helped you guys. Can you guys see that now? I'm darker. How is that? Can you guys see this better now? And this goes all the way up here. We'll be able to get that later. Alright, I'm going to pull open this tape because we're going to tape off everything around it. Because I know that it shows up differently on YouTube than it does on my actual computer. So from here, I feel like you guys could see this line a lot better, and it just runs all the way up the side of this. Without looking directly at that. There we go. Now, this is just like a weaker painter's tape. We are going to just tape up everything around this scratch. Because we don't want to, just in case, you never know, you don't want to spill extra super glue and then have to sand that off later. You don't want to do that. Accidents happen, and if we can eliminate them, then all the better. So just putting a bunch of painter's tape on here so we don't make a mess. Now you'll see in the title, I have never done this on something like this before, but I have done similar things, but not quite on an acoustic, and not with this product before. But I see what it means. A very hairline. you're basically just trying to fill this very, very thin hairline in to the point where when you sand it down, it'll have a solid layer because there's just a crack in it. So basically what you're seeing in the scratch is you're seeing a reflection off of the left or the right side depending where the light's hitting. And that's why you can see it. It's not actually black, you're just seeing that light hitting it. So if you can fill that in, it should work pretty good. So we have our needle. You know what? I am going to do a little more. I am taking, no shit, a top loader, guys. We're going to take a top loader and we're going to put, if you can see, a bunch of drops of this glue on there. I'm going to set that off to the side. And I'm going to be using this needle to place this super glue into the crack. Now, I'd like to set this on the guitar so you can see it, but I'm not doing that. So we're just going to dip the needle in. And I'm going to start up here at the top and work my way so that my arm doesn't slide into it. And very lightly, let's see, I don't know if you guys can even see that. Let's work down. There we go. And very, very lightly. Remember, we're going to be able to sand this off later. I'm not liking the needle point because it feels like it's not picking up any glue. This is what was recommended. Now, I am not seeing any glue actually come off of this. So I'm going to revert to my very, very pointy, whatever you call that, Q-tip, but very, very pointy. Because I think we're actually going to be able to load up some glue onto here, whereas the other one, I wasn't doing anything. There we go. We just want that to go down into there. Now remember, we're going to lightly wet sand and polish this back. So don't worry about that little bit of excess on there. There is a little bit more there. Just got to put a little bit more in. That is the heaviest part of the scratch right there. And then now this is very hairline again. And works its way up here. And now I can bump the camera up a little bit. Oil it up first? No, I had to remove the oils. And next week he's making a surfboard. No. Yeah, it seemed pretty self-explanatory here. Very, very thin water-like super glue. Sort of. Is going to slowly penetrate everything here.
Oh, yeah.
James Prain's 27 months. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to make any surfboards. I can't say I wouldn't try. Sorry. Slowly what? So you can actually feel this scratch quite a bit. There we go. Slowly, I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what I said before. There we go. I'm gonna zoom out of that a little bit. That's a little bit too close. I don't want to be constantly moving that around. You guys are just gonna get a crotch shot, pretty much. There you go. Try not to have you just staring right at it. There you go. Slowly what? I don't know. I don't know what I said. Slowly putting it into the hole here, right into the right into the crack. Slowly dripping into the crack there, James. That's what we're doing tonight. Working with wood. Working with wood. Oh man, I definitely miss doing a rip and like the giveaway at the end and all that kind of stuff. I miss doing that. I got some mail we got to get out though in the next few months here. I got a whole bunch of piles building up pretty tall, so definitely got to get those out. Glenn, are you still in here, Glenn? We're gonna let that do its thing. Should be just sleeping down or seeping down. We're gonna let that happen, and while that's happening, let's see here if I can lift this up. I'm gonna move this back. We'll lift that up. There we go. And you know what? We can tip it back a little bit. There you go. You guys can see that now. Because we're going to start taping up this fretboard now that this, we just want this to dry for a little bit. So I'm actually going to spin this around. Let that dry, and then we're going to come back in a little bit and add another layer. So let us Look down. There we go. Another crotch shot. Sorry. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and start taping up this fretboard. So we're going to end up, like I said, polishing up these frets. So we got to tape them up. So we might as well let that glue dry down there while we go ahead and move on. The question is it actually going to fill in? It says dries clear, fills in. Will it fill in to the point where we won't see it? I really hope so. I think that would be fantastic if it really works out that well. From what I've seen, it works. I'm confident I'll be able to do it. It won't be that hard. I will say that these frets are nice and big. We like big frets here. Big jumbo frets. I'm gonna slide that up. There we go. So you're just trying to push it right up against the edge. Press down. So this is just to protect the fretboard from the sandpaper, polishing compounds, and everything like that. Now this is a bit of a tedious process, but we got time, boys. We have a lot of time. In the meantime, have any of you guys done any rips, any openings? Have you guys pulled any crazy cards? Have you guys been ripping cards lately? I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what the new products are out right now. I haven't even been able to pay attention. The last thing I knew coming out was Select. In stores, anyway. I will say if I got a box, I would probably get, like, Mosaic. Just because it's one of my favorites. I think it's fun to open. The case hits are all really fun. Some people will put a line down this first and then do this, so because they say they can just rip it off, but I've tried it a million times, or at least 9 times, and it has not worked. So I just put one after to protect it. Starting to get to the thinner ones. This will be the fret where this tape fits perfectly. Nope, not quite. Alright. That means we're getting into these now. I pre-cut a bunch of these. Just so you didn't have to sit and watch me sit with a pair of scissors forever. There we go. I mean, another thin one right there. This is one of the more tedious parts. Once I get into sanding and stuff, it's a little more fun because you can really start to see the change. go. Sorry, we just got like poles everywhere. You can barely see me. We might be able to fix that. There we go. That's a little bit better.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
I know you're busy.
What's up?
Can you open my ice cream, please?
Open the ice cream. Ooh.
Hi, guys.
Some gelato right there. There you go.
I loosened it up for you. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. There we go. And the 12th fret here has that really nice abalone fret or inlay. Pretty nice. Alright, gonna start doing these extra thin ones soon. Hey, what's up, Helmets? How's it going, man? The question is... Oh, he's under there. How's it going, dude? We're just hanging out tonight, messing with the guitar. I figured why not just stream it? If anyone wants to pop in and say hi while I'm doing this, you know I'm going to be doing it at this table anyways. Driving home right now? Nice. You be careful now. One day I'll buy actual thin strips of tape so that this goes quicker, but for now, we're just going to do that. Hope all is well there, Helmets and Hash Marks. A little bit left here, and then we can check on our first job here, our dry job. Everything's good, man. Doing good. Doing well. Work's going well. Yeah. Not bad. Just haven't had time for for the cards and stuff, but everything else been going well. Hanging out, taking it easy. It was just winter, so now we're just starting to get nice weather again. However, we had like crazy tornadoes the last week here. I don't know about you guys how the weather's been, but we had a tornado like a mile away from my house in one direction, and then like 2 miles away in the other direction. Just rolled through at the same time. Just barely missed us. That was nuts. There we go. I have to cut a couple more of these. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these really skinny ones. Looking at a glue job, it's still chilling over there. We're going to give it a couple more minutes on that as we do this, and then we'll do another layer. These ones I got to cut really thin. So I just cut the one edge off of it, and then cut the middle out of it here again. I'm going to have to do that, what did I say, 5 times? 6 times? That's right, because then we'll be able to polish this fretboard up nicely. It'll look good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. 28 months. Hell yeah, Justin. Thank you, dude. Sticking around even though I haven't been doing much. I appreciate that a lot. I really do, guys. You might be seeing some weird stuff every now and then, but here we are. I have not left. I might, like I said, I'm detailing a bike on Saturday. I might just set up the camera, bring the laptop, and set it up. I won't be able to communicate, but you'll be able to pop in and see me polishing up a Harley. And that's going to be a 2-day project as well. 2 days. There we go. There's my other one. There we go. Yeah. That's how it works. Who knows? We may stumble across something you guys would rather watch me do. We never know. We never know. There you go. And here's some craziness. Like, as far as, like, full-on getting back to what I was doing before, I mean, we're talking about, like, a couple of years before I'm going to be able to do that. I'm just, I'm saving up for other things. And I can't do both at the same time. But every once in a while I'll be able to do some cards and maybe do something goofy like this if you guys stick around. Other than that, yeah, unfortunately. But I do have a close relationship with you guys, and so I don't really want to lose that. Plus, I got a bunch of your stuff over here. I gotta be able to ship this stuff out to you guys. I still have some. Still got piles. Cut that. Get off. Off. There we go. Alright, one more of these after this one. I didn't get that close up on that one the way I wanted to. There we go. Getting there. Oh yeah, I mean, I haven't been buying anything new or even like PC stuff or anything like that. Haven't been doing that. Just holding on to what I have at the moment. I sent out in December, I sent out 5 cards to get graded. I mean, any day now they should be calling me. And I should be able to go and pick those up, so that'll likely be the next, like, football-related video. And then there was, I think an Emmitt Smith rookie, Randy Moss rookie, Woodson rookie, Jordan Love, that white mosaic, and one more, but I'm not thinking of. There we go. like that. Tape that up a bit. We don't want to hit that with sandpaper or anything. Don't want to bump in to this curve even. There we go. And we're going to run a strip right across the edge of this as well. Not too high. Because you want to be able to hit that bottom edge of the fret. Just enough to kind of help protect the binding. And we're going to do this on the other side real quick as well. Sorry if I'm in the way of the camera for this one. Nah, I'm not really going to be hitting the binding down this way that much, but just in case there's a slip, you just want to have a little bit on there. There we go. There we go. We have ourselves a taped up guitar. I can even kind of throw one across the hole, across the old sound hole, edging the guitar. That makes sure your hole is nice and covered. Because we're going to be sanding on metal. This is an electric acoustic. So that means that there's a pickup inside of this that is magnetic. And any metal filings or shavings will get drawn to that magnet. So you want to go ahead and do that. And then we're even going to cover up the actual electronic setup for that. Just because we don't want to get anything really in there for now either. I'm not pushing hard. Just enough to tighten it up. Boom, there we go. That is fully wrapped up and ready for a fret job. And yeah, you'll see a real job on that thing. We're going to flip this back around. Let's get that set back down. Alright. We do have our glue right here. I'll probably have to do a new dollop there. Let's see if I can turn this, if you guys are going to be able to see that scratch again. That might actually be better. That might be better. Let's see. See if we can zoom on that. You guys can see that, right? That line going through. All right. Okay. He's etching the guitar. I'm going to take a sip of this Pabst here. Definitely looks like it's helped fill in the that big part. That's dry for sure. Alright, I'm going to go pee real quick. I'll be right back. right, here we go. There we go. Let's scroll that back down. All right, here we go. We're going to go on to our next coat of the number 10 super glue. Now, we did change the lighting a bit because it felt like you could see this crack a little bit more. Now, I can see it has gone down, so it's not flush there yet. I'm just going to run one more along the whole thing, and I think that's going to be enough for the thinner parts. But the thicker definitely needs more for sure, like a lot more. All right. Again, using this here. Stumac, number 10 thin. It's like water, basically. And then I've got a very, very pointy Q-tip. That's sticking to me now. All right. Here we go. Start at the top. And just run a glob. I'm going to be able to pretty easily sand this later. And we just want to make sure it is filling in. It said to use in a well-ventilated area. So if I pass out, you guys will know why. Set that. I could probably turn that a bit to this way. There we go. There's always this part of it where you're just like, God, am I doing this right? You know? But the instructions were pretty plain and simple. Made sense to me. I can see that deeper part still isn't fully filled in. It keeps seeping down into it, which is exactly what you want. Because that also is going to seep down to where that little shim is placed on the backside. Funny, though, that the needle did not work. Needle did not work, boys. We had to use that Q-tip instead. So, again, here we are. Wonder if I can go like this and just pick you guys up. Now that's really close. It is probably going to be hard to see that. If I go really close. I don't know if it'll autofocus unless I hold it very steady. You can see that. You can kind of see that dark line just a bit, and it's filling into that and slowly seeps down in. This part gonna need more. Just trying to show you that because you can't quite see that angle of it. Go like that, and actually I can zoom back out. Well, there you can see that a little bit. We're gonna let that dry. couple seconds, I think. Or, I don't know, about a minute. And then we're going to flip this around. And we're just going to get started on some of this fretwork. I just don't want to be sanding metal until this looks like it's not tacky anymore. Like, it's so hard to pick it up on camera. But I can see where it was smooth and now it's just little dots. Because that's where it's falling down into the cracks. It's getting through there and slowly falling down. They said you could use like 10 psi pressure, which is like basically, and try and blow it down into it with a needle point. But really, I can see gravity is doing its trick right now. You can see it, the bubbles where it's falling down. Which is what you want. Like, I don't necessarily want to dry the top. I just want it to fall down into the grooves. But I am going to hit the zoom out on this one so we can start working on the fretboard here. There we go. We will lift up, look down, and move those scissors out of the way. We're not going to need any more tape. Going to move the super glue out of the way. Along with that crappy needle. The box came with it. The box came with it. All right, nice. Now you guys can see that anyway. I got a box under here. I can't roll my chair up any closer. But that actually seems like a good view for you, aside from that. Let's see if we can try to turn that a bit. Nope. That's what you're going to get right there. That way you can at least see the fretboard. Now there's a lot of light bouncing on it right now. So it looks like they're shiny, but I assure you they are not. They're actually quite cruddy and dirty. And we are going to start off very lightly. Again, I checked all the frets with a fret rocker to see if there were any high ones. There was no high frets, and this neck is perfectly flat and straight right now. It's going to need, it will, like, the string tension will cause a little bit of relief, which is fine, and it may actually need even more than that. I see this piece of tape here. Let me put that. There we go. But let's get started. So, let's see if I have this little thing here. I don't know that I'm going to need this. I don't necessarily need that. That's fine. I was going to use this little eraser. It had been nice to fold the paper around, but I can use this instead. That's fine. So starting out, guys, I use a piece of quadruple zero steel wool. Right there. You can see that. Just some regular steel wool, but it is four zeros there on the steel wool. Very, very fine. I actually use this detailing. I use it on windows and things like that. Some chrome and stuff like that. It's very fine. Does not scratch. And for this, it's not going to do much. This is going to be like maybe 1,000 or a little under 1,000 like sandpaper basically. It's just going to start to clean off what's here. Just very lightly. Nothing crazy. Just to get that top crud off. Because we don't want to actually change the level of these frets. The sanding paper I'm going to be using today is not going to be enough to at all drastically change the level. It's just very, very fine. Alright, now we're going to go... What I'll do is I will go like this and then put a finger underneath on one side and then on the other side. So it creates this hump in the middle. That's what I do with the sandpaper as well. Very easy way just to go back and forth on it so that you don't lose that curve. Now I have also crowned frets as well. And I can just do it by hand. I have a very, very, very steady hand and extremely close attention to detail. So being able to just crown a fret isn't really that hard. You can get a crowning file if you're a little more want to move fast. But if you take your time and work it, you'll be able to do it without needing to do that. You can, I don't know if you can already see in this video, but it's already shining up. I'm barely putting any pressure, guys. Barely at all. Very like feather light pressure on this. All right. Now, the only thing I'm not going to do on this, because I have not done one yet myself, and I'm not going to start on this guitar, is I am not going to ball the fret ends. Some guys do that. There is a certain file that you need so that you can ball on one side and then have no file on the other two sides. I do not have a file like that. So I could do it, but then I would run the risk of putting a little slice into the edge of his binding here or into his fretboard, which I'm not going to do. We will, those little edges, they're not very sharp as is. Anyways, this is a nice guitar. They are not, they're not sticking out and pointy like they would be on a cheaper guitar. They are much nicer, so they don't really need that anyways. They're not catching or anything. They're not sharp feeling. So anything, when we're dragging sandpaper and stuff like this across this, it's gonna smoothen it out anyways. We really don't need to do that. Plus, I wouldn't start on this guitar anyways. But there we go. So right out of the gate, you can already see it looks a lot more like a silver rather than this dark, gritty dirt. There's my steel wool. I'm going to go ahead and place that back here. And then we are going to get started on 1,000 grit. I have a fresh sheet of 1,000 right here. 1,000 grit sandpaper. All you need is like a little square like that. Now this is what I will do. You can use a little eraser. I don't know where the hell I put it, but I had one. You can use an eraser. You can use just something like this. Something thin with an edge. A square edge on it is what you want. Wrap it around it. There you go. You can see it's wrapped around to where you get a nice corner edge like that. And then what I do is I just try to press it into, make sure that's hard edged, all right, and hold it tight. Make sure that that gets pushed into that, just the corner of the fret. And maybe do like 2 swipes. Remember, this is only 1,000 grit. So you're not really changing the shape of this fret. You're just filing that top layer to smoothen it out. And you're going to do it perfectly even across every fret. And that's because when you go over the top like I did with the steel wool, you're not going to reach these little corners. And it is at a slight angle. You're digging into there, but not too hard. You don't want too much pressure. Just enough to hit that. Because then when you go back over it later, back and forth, it will reach that and it will round it out naturally. Now I have had to level a fret where I had to sit with a small file and go over and do a nice curvature. But we're not doing that today. Luckily, we do not have to sand any of these frets down. We could, but we are not doing that today. Here we go. Now with the other hand, again, just pushing that corner into it. I'm going to use this hand, I think. There we go. Alright, we're going to put that down, and then we're going to do that same thing like what we were doing before. You're going to put your finger over it, and then put your other two underneath, just like that, and hold it tight. So what that's going to do is when you go over it, if you're pushing down onto the fretboard, when you go over that bump, naturally it's going to go over the hump with a curve. Now, if you go across all of them, you can hear it. It's literally going to roll right over the top of it. So you've hit that bottom edge, and then you can actually see where you've hit the bottom edge. You're not going to be able to see it on camera, but I can see it. And then when I roll across, I can see it roll into it perfectly, making a nice rounded fret. And I just try, I try my best to just, very even and equal pressure across all of the different frets. So that stays the same. Now, like I said, I've done this now 9 times, and every single time that's been perfect afterwards. Haven't had any issues, never created a weird fret or anything like that. So this should work just fine. Again, not putting a lot of pressure, just enough to feel the bump and roll over the edge. Just a little bit. And I can already see these bad boys shining up nicely. This really is a gorgeous guitar when she's cleaned up. Beautiful guitar. And I'm just going, from my point of view, I can see where there's faint dark spots and not. So I'm just going until it is even all the way across. Go a little bit on the edge. All right. That was our 1000 grit. And there you have it. That is 1000. We are just going to grab a quick rag. It's that simple, guys. And they're already cleaning up very nicely. So now we're going to move on to 2000. And a fresher piece right here. We're going to use this fresher piece for this edge right here. But I'm going to take a little sip of beer. Cheers, everybody. Happy Sunday. Okay, I'm just going to wrap it around. So you can use an eraser or something. They actually make erasers that are sanding fret sanders. You can buy a kit that's erasers. But I'm not doing this constantly, so I'm not going to do that. This works just fine for me. And I can be pretty accurate with it. So we're going to do that again. We're now up to 2,000 grit. If I were going to be sanding frets down, you can go down to maybe like 600 if you need, and you just slowly work. You can go heavier than that if you want to. I like to work light. With 600, you can file a little bit, check the rocker, file a little bit, check the rocker, and then when you're ready and it's good, or very close to it, you can then crown it to get it the rest of the way. But here we go. We are going to, again, push in, slowly curve up, push in, up, a little bit more this time. Just because it's a lighter sandpaper. Oh, I disconnected. Sorry about that, guys. All right, and then we're going to go back the other direction. I want to just change this paper a bit and fold it that way. There we go. A little bit tighter. All right. And now we're going to switch to that finger method again, where I am going like that and like that, just to be able to get that rounded edge again back. And then again, I'd say about a medium pressure, because this is a lighter sandpaper. Medium pressure, just trying to keep it even across everything, giving every little fret about the same amount. And it's not really cutting that much, but it is just shining up a little bit more. You can tell. I don't know if you can pick that up on camera or not, but it is slowly getting closer and closer to a chrome finish. It's not quite there yet. I'm gonna go the whole way. Hit the edges a little bit. Again, these were not very sharp edges to begin with, but we will give it just a nice one. Let's go the whole way. These look very, very nice. No more dimples or anything, man. They look great. This one almost needs a little edge there. There we go. Let's fold this. We'll hit it one more time with this 2000. Barely doing anything, guys, but these frets are soft. They are not a very hard metal. At least when you heat it up. You start getting some friction, they can break down. I'm guessing these are not stainless steel. that's going to be it for 2,000. Going to grab this. All that dirt coming off of there, guys. Look at that. There we go. I'm going to click out of this dock. I think I have to reload it. There we go. Sorry about that. It'll pop back up. All right, it is now looking much... It's already 1,000 times better than what it was. And we're going to go ahead and go on to our 3,000, which is up here. We got 3,000 grit right here. Very fine, guys. Very, very fine. Go ahead and take a little swig of Pabst. Cheers, everybody. Happy Sunday. Gotta find our stick, rip off a piece. This is not that hard to do, but you definitely have to be patient. It's a bit meticulous. Gotta be patient. But it's a bit relaxing to do. It's not hard. If you take the time to do it, you can do it. Now, I definitely did it a lot more. This is only 3,000 grit, guys. Quite literally, the next paper I'm going to use is a paper bag. That is how soft this is getting. All right, and now we're going to roll this to the other way and do the other side. Ashley, hey there. Just a heads up, sent you a box the other day. I think it was scheduled for delivery by Monday. Okay, Ashley, how's it going, by the way? I'll check it out. I'll see if it's in the mail tomorrow. Thank you. Well, giving us some content over here. I appreciate it. Like I said, I did have a order submission through PSA. So that'll be coming soon too. And then if you've sent anything, we'll definitely open that stuff up and do a live stream. But in the meantime, we're just hanging out. Good to see you though. How you been? I gotta get that one again. That's good. Awesome. Have you gotten any new cards or anything crazy recently? Even just from doing these sides, it's already really starting to chrome up nicely. All right. Now I can finally take this stick out of here. New Mosaic Kaleidoscopic Patty Mahomes. Whoa. Damn. Like the actual case hit? That's pretty nice. Again, we're going to be doing this again here. I go like that. Put a finger under each side. Like that. And now that's going to round off the top. Medium pressure, a little bit heavier than the last one. That is really starting to look nice. Can you guys tell in the camera? Look at how much more chrome these are starting to look. Really, really looking good. I'm going to very lightly just go back and forth on these tops. Just lightly. And then back the other way. This is only 3,000 grit, remember. And then we're going to go back over again with the edge. we go, 3,000 grit. Gonna grab our rag one more time here. Give that a nice wipe. Wow, these are really starting to look awesome. Yeah. Really looking good, if you guys can see that. Really starting to look like chrome over here. And now the secret weapon, just because I didn't know where to get 4,000 grit or 5,000 grit. We go to literally, quite literally, a piece of a paper bag, guys. Piece of a paper bag. That is what equivalent to 4,000 or 5,000 grit is. Very, very fine. Now, the cutting compound I'm going to use is a diminishing compound that breaks down from like a 2,500 all the way to like basically a 5,000 or 6,000 to almost a nothing. But it's liquid, so it's a little, I find it to be lighter than what this is. And then from there, I have an even finer polish that basically just goes from like, 4,000 or 5,000 to nothing. And it just turns it into just pure chrome. But we are going to use this brown paper bag, boys. Brown paper bag. Here we go. I'm not going to go into the corners. It is unnecessary. We're just going to go over the tops. This is barely doing anything. If anything, I'm trying to just almost get it just a tad bit warm. Just a little bit of friction with this paper bag. Now, my wife thinks I'm crazy probably when I do this because it is unbelievably tedious. But it is well worth it when it's done. And the way that this thing is going to play when it's done, oh man. And then back the other way. Whoo! The card is at PSA right now? Oh, man. You're going to have to let us know how that grades. That is awesome. What a pull. We're going to go back and forth now over the tops. I know most people collect Patrick Mahomes just because. I mean, he's one of the greatest. He's been fantastic. Obviously, multiple Super Bowls. I certainly collect Patrick Mahomes, you know that, mainly for my mom. I mean, I like Patrick Mahomes too, but I mean, she was a huge fan of Patty, so I like to collect a few nicer ones. And again, we're just going back and forth with this bag. If you guys could see this, it is insane looking. And this one I've used, so this is practically a 5,000 grit paper, basically. Just shaking the cameras around. Sorry, everybody. Woo! Hands getting tired. I need a sip of beer. Cheers, everybody. Happy Sunday. Gotta grab a fresh piece of paper and just do that whole thing again, but a little quicker. My laptop was starting to creep towards me just from the vibration. And now back the other way. The key is just to be even. Even pressure, same amount of strokes on each piece here, and then we're going to do it again and just go back and forth. Curling over the edges just a little bit to hit those ends. And again, that's why we taped up the sides too by the binding. You're not really going that sideways, but it's just a little added protection. That one I could probably even do a little more. And these ones I hadn't been going quite as hard on. All right, paper bag is done. Give it a good old rub. You're so good at that, Daddy. I bet you do like that. I bet you love this action, don't you? I bet you do. You know, I'm not surprised. But now you can see anyway. See if I can bring that up a little bit. Actually, maybe I can bring your camera down a little closer. Ooh, 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 ooh. See if that'll focus. Now you can see these are like almost, I mean, they are almost a chrome finish now. From 1,000 to 2,000 to 3,000 to a paper bag. We are now at almost a chrome finish. We are getting there. So you'll turn that a little. I don't want to miss part of the fretboard. All right. There we go. All right. Oh, drop my vape. Now the paper I can put aside. And I'm going to pull out a rag. Because here we go. We're going to get into some compound. Now, the bottle's all taped up so you can't read it, but the compound I like to use for this is Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. You can find it in like any Walmart, AutoZone, you know, any Advanced Auto Parts, anything like that. They're going to have it. And the reason I use this is because it doesn't have like a really heavy sandy grit in it. It's more like an oil and chemical based version where it starts out rough as a rough cut. I don't know, it's not rough, but it starts out heavier and then diminishes down to nothing, which I like about it. And it's very oily. It is not, I would consider it to be a milder rubbing compound than some others. Even though it's presented as like an aggressive compound in stores, but it's a consumer version. It's not going to be that aggressive compared to like a professional line. It's rough, yeah, rough, but Pat, what's up, Pat? If she's on the reg, you don't have to pull out. Damn, son. It's fine. It's pretty fine. You can find this anywhere. It's very oily and it does not cut that hard. And it diminishes down to nothing. And so it's a really great one to go after this paper bag, guys. We did 4,000. We're basically just going to shine this up basically with this oiliness, and then we're going to hit it with a polish, and this shit is going to be chrome shining. Yes, we have a rough butt right now. Pat, how's it going, dude? But this stuff certainly does not cut as hard as other cutting compounds do. Alright, I'm just going to squirt some onto here. Now, some people will use a little buffing wheel. Miss the shenanigans. We're just having some fun with guitars tonight, man. Nothing too crazy. Some people do use a Dremel and a little buffing wheel. I do not, because I feel like you roll over it so fast that you can't push into the corners nicely. Whereas with my finger, I can kind of push into the crevice with the rag and roll around it and get most of the edges very nicely. With the buffing wheel, I don't know, I just feel like it's a little quick and sloppy. It might be fast, but it's not, I don't know, I feel like I'm going to do a better job with this. Plus, the buffing wheel, you run the risk of heating it up. And so if you're working, if you're moving quick, I guess it's probably fine. But I'd imagine once you're moving halfway down the neck, that little wheel is heating up too. Now you're running the risk of messing up your frets. And I wouldn't want to do that. It doesn't take much. I mean, we're using a liquid cutting compound. You're not going to be changing the shape of the frets doing this by hand. You're just giving them an extra bit of shine. And you can see that? Look at that. Dirt. I used some McGuire's waterless wash wax spray on my car because of all this pollen. Oh, yeah, dude. Nice. There you go. Hey, man, McGuire's, what they're really good at is making consumer-based awesome products. They also have a professional line that's really good, too. You know that. Man, holy crap, if you guys could see the difference. Man, I don't know if I can even show that. If you guys can even see that. Look at how much more silver that is than these other ones. I mean, that is chrome, boys. We got a chrome polish. Used to detail your car every weekend. Very nice, very nice. It's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work doing your own car all the time. Like, trying to keep it perfect is, man, it's a lot of work. I used to a lot with my own cars. I don't as much. Now I wash it like every month or two. And I just do a spray ceramic on it, and it's kept it absolutely perfect for 3 years. Just going to go like that. And again, roll around it. That's it. The only reason like I was able to pick up even doing this with the guitars so well is just from detailing for so long. This is simple stuff to me. My arm might as well be a certified machine. It does not get tired, guys. This arm will never get tired. We can do this all night. James, I'm talking to you. I can do this all night long. Yeah, you are right. The better you keep it, the easier it is just to keep it clean. If you let it go for a while, man, it's a lot more of a pain in the ass. If you just give it a wipe, quick vacuum, wash and a spray wax, if you just do that, you'll be so much farther ahead than most people with their cars. And I know a lot of people don't have a lot of time to detail their car and stuff like that. I get it, or they're not able to, but it is worth it. Like sex. On eBay, it has sold for between $500 and $1,500 and a 10. Damn, Ashley. Pat, if you didn't see, she got a Pat Mahomes on the. Did you say stained glass or the other one? The kaleidoscope or kaleidoscopic. That's insane. And a PSA 10? Do you think you got a PSA 10, Ashley? Oh, alright. Alright, we're going to grab a different rag, a clean rag over here. and just wipe those off. Oh my god, dude. I love shining shit up. I can't explain why, but I do. I just love it. When this guitar is done, guys, it is going to look and play so much nicer. Yeah. Awesome. A little bit more for these last few here. Yeah, I hope you get a PSA 10. Heck yeah. Let's get Ashley a PSA 10. You might want to hold on to it. Kelsey is sticking with the team for a while, right? So, you might want to hold on to that. He says they're going to get a Super Bowl this year again. They just had a weird fluky year, right? I know Pat's like, hell no. Dude, the Bills gonna get a Super Bowl yet or what, man? Come on, Josh Allen. And he's one of my favorite quarterbacks too, man. I want him to get one so bad. Yeah, dude, they've been getting robbed every year. All right, put that down. Grab our fresh rag again here. I'm bummed out. We traded Dontavian Wicks, I think, to the Eagles. Okay, I gotta go go to bed. Good night. Good night, Pat. Have a good night, dude. Thanks for popping in, man. I just appreciate you guys stopping to say hi if you can. We're gonna be doing this for a while, at least a little bit while longer, and then we're gonna pick it back up again tomorrow. We're gonna check that super glue crack over there again, see if it needs one more. And then we're going to let that dry overnight until tomorrow. We will wet sand and polish that part of the body. And then we are going to, not sand, but we're going to polish the rest of the body as well. Compound and polish. We're going to hit all the fretboards really nice. And then we just got to put this bad boy back together. That's all. Yeah, wow. Looks great. We got some still on this rag, which is perfect, because we are going to go crossways. Just like we were earlier. If I can do that, find a way to get it done. There we go. Unfortunately, I'm wiggling the camera, but it is what it is. At least the camera's not falling. All right. Boom. I need another fresh rag here. The finer and finer you get with polish, the longer you have to take on each step. When you're doing heavy cutting, you're mowing down, and you want even pressure as you mow. And then the lighter and lighter you get, the more concentrated and the more thorough you want to be. Because it's just not cutting as much. Yeah, there we go. You see that now? These are like chrome. Look at the shine on those bad boys. Woo! Alright, what do we got here? Uh-oh. Another one. Oh, must have fell. There we go. This is my other one that I use for my polish. This is Griot's Garage Perfecting Cream. It is one of my favorite polishes. It is a very fine polish. Now, like I said, that compound is a diminishing compound, so it did break down to almost nothing. This is going to go even lighter, and then just has a really, really nice look to it. So this is going to be our last step here of polish. Then we'll be able to take off all the tape, and then I will likely clean the fretboard tonight and at least put a little bit of oil on there just to keep it going. We'll re-oil it again at the end. And now this is just, again, a very light polish. And we're just going to go back and forth. Thanks, Ashley. I don't know how I'm going to just do all the polishing on camera when I'm doing the whole body. I'm just going to have to lift this camera up super high and just try and show all the angles. Because it is a bit tough to be rolling the body around while you're compounding and polishing. But I'll figure it out. All right, nice clean rag. Hey, what's up, Paul? How's it going, man? We're doing something a little bit different tonight. Just trying to hang out. How have you been, sir? There it is. Let's take a sip here. Happy Sunday, dude. Uh-oh. Oh, must have fell on the ground. I've been. You've been. Question mark. Oh. Blinded. Doing some guitar tech work? Yeah, a little bit, man. Just a little bit. Until just now that I've been sidetracked. Oh. Oh, there we go. I'm an idiot. Don't mind me. We're back. Yeah, so, on this other side of this, let me take that off. Flip that back around, because we could probably check this again. On this side of business, we have this scratch here. Maybe I can just zoom this way. It's not a scratch, it's a bit of a crack. Crack going down this whole thing. You can see it right in here. It's not super wide, but it is. It does go through on just one spot. So I did like a, forget what you call it, but like sort of a shim, a very, very thin piece of wood underneath, just where it is cracked. And then the top, I'm using number 10 Stumac, really, really watery glue, just to get in there and let it settle. I'm probably going to have to do one more layer now. I'm probably going to do that now, actually. And then I'll go back to polishing the frets. So let's do that. And it's just been slowly seeping down into that crack there. We've been seeping into cracks tonight. So I've just been using basically a top loader with this glue and just lightly hitting where that crack is. And then we're going to wet sand or sand and polish it tomorrow once it's fully hardened. Now my left eye is burning. There we go. Looks good. All right, and we will set that back down over here. We'll give that a bit to dry. Again, this is a little tougher to see. But it is looking good. It's looking good. I'm going to zoom out, though. There we go. And we'll look back at the guitar again. Just like that for now. There we go. There we go. We're going to leave it like that for a little bit. I just don't want to... I want to move it and flip it around until it's at least dried for a little bit. What's everyone else doing tonight? Anyways, in my part of town, it is 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock at night. What are you guys up to? Yeah, I'm nothing crazy. I definitely wouldn't call myself a luthier, but I've been learning a lot over the last while here and been doing a lot of my own. And this I've done many times, at least on the fretwork. It's not hard. I'm not going too aggressive. The crack I've never done before, but I'm confident I should be able to do this just fine. Same for you too right now? Then we'll pull all this tape off, polish it up nice. We gotta nourish the old bridge and the fretboard, polish up all the tuners and everything. Compound polish wax, get this thing looking beautiful. But that'll be, I think today, I'm going to do one more layer of polish on the frets, and then we'll pull that all off. I think I'll clean the neck and the bridge, and then just put like maybe some coconut oil on there or something. And let that just seep into there. It's been dry for a while. Poor baby needs some nourishment. It looks like that one crack is filled in pretty good. There's definitely a bump up on everything else. Everything else looks good. It's just the part where it was the deepest that I want to make sure is high up enough that when we go to sand it, it will clean up. And I'm actually going to have a razor blade that I'll put like tape on both sides and just leave a little thin spot in the middle. And then I'll slide through and just scrape up any of the really high stuff. That way we're not just sanding the shit out of the top of this. But we'll let that chill a little bit. It's definitely over the top of everything else. Now, the reason why I'm doing this and not using humidity is because this was not a crack due to humidity to where it dried out. Because otherwise you could just humidify it and it would kind of close up again. But this got bashed, and that's why it cracked. Now I am going to flip this carefully, put the box back under here. There we go. Let's see if we can get you a little bit better view. How do I put that up there? There you go. It's like everything's backwards. I'd have to go like that, but then it's like hanging off the table a bit there. There we go. All right, one more step of polish here. Again, for this polish, it's my favorite ultra fine perfecting cream from Grail's Garage. Really, really ultra fine, easy to use, easy to work, easy to get off. Well, it's a little bit thicker to get off, but really, really nice, fine polish. Just for a little bit more shine here, guys. And again, just doing this by hand. Not busting out the Dremel or the little buffing wheel on the Dremel. I don't want to heat these up. I find doing it by hand to be more relaxing anyways and enjoyable. Buffing would be fun, but I feel like I'm not getting everything evenly. You know what I should do? What if I move these out of the way? I'm going to put this camera back a little bit and see if we can't just go like that. I don't know why I didn't do that from the beginning. Because then your table won't shake as bad. You're on the table behind it. You're on the actual card table right now. It's probably what I should have done. All right. One more clean rag here. Now we did the 1,000 grit, 2,000, 3,000 paper bag, light compound, fine polish. And here we are. The camera's freaking out. They are looking absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead and pull all this tape off. Always a fun part. pull this off the electrical component here. I hear some wind outside. That sounds crazy. Oh no, I'm an idiot. That's an airplane. Never mind. It sounded like wind. I mean, I guess it was in a way, wasn't it? And neck was straight. Frets have been leveled, or well, they were level. I already checked them with the rocker. Everything was level. Just needed a light polish was all. Nice, beautiful polish. Oh, man. Already starting to look good. Ooh. And don't worry about the little bit of glue from this painter's tape. It is a very light glue. We are going to hand compound and polish everything. That will come right on off. Already starting to look really nice. Because now we're going to want to at least clean it just in case there maybe was a little bit of pieces of, little bits of something getting underneath the tape there. We're going to clean that right away before it dries, of course. Just in case some maybe snuck down underneath. I am going to... I'm not going to flip that yet. I will say I did not make the little tabs on these this time like I did last time. That was nice. It made it easier just to grab them, but it's not that bad. They just ended up sticking together on the bottom. So you just gotta rip them. Starting to brighten up though, starting to look really nice. Huh. If you were here in the beginning or if you popped in at the beginning, I don't know how well it looked on camera, but just the difference right now in a nice polished fret is crazy looking on this guitar. Gotta love that. I'm gonna move that box back a little farther now. Remember, normally I would flip it over, but we've got glue in that crack over there. I don't want to move it upside down or anything. I want that falling down with gravity into that crack. Oop. There we go, 2 more. And if you're wondering, I do have a big piece of foam literally attached to the wall over there so that this does not hit the wall. Now I'm going to do a quick check. Alright, no more blue tape under there. Now, as you can see, look at how pretty that is, boys. Look at how pretty that is. Man, that looks good. All right, we got to clean this. I got to go and get a little bit of cleaner. I will be right back. I'll be right back. Just got a mess on the ground over here. But we now have what we need. I got some paper towels. Actually, I should probably grab a few more clean microfibers, which are right in this closet. Alright, we got some clean microfibers now.
I'm going to lay down.
Alright, good night. Love you.
Night, night, guys.
Thank you, says good night, everybody. We got a fresh batch of nice clean towels here. And let's push that up a bit. Let's see if we can move that forward. I want to put it back on this table again just because the view is better. Looking straight down. It was a bit more wiggly. But you were able to see the entire fretboard at once, which was nice. But now you can see just the insane amount of shine coming off of this thing. Crazy. So this is what I'm going to do. Just get some good old, any daily wood cleaner. Look at this. Method Daily Wood Cleaner. Plant-based, no harsh chemicals in here at all. It's very, very mild. Nice wood cleaner and cleanser. And then just very lightly. Now, you can buy, ones made by guitar companies if you want. We're cleaning wood here, boys. That is all. It's just cleaning wood. It's not that crazy, not that in-depth. You could buy that stuff if you'd like, and it works really, really well. But you just do this, spread it across, just some wood cleaner, very light. And we're going to take a toothbrush and just work it in. I can even see in this nut here, it's a bit dirty. We'll put some lead or graphite in there so that the strings can sit on that. I'm assuming that is a bone nut. But we're just going to work this in just to get some of that old finger goo off of here. Just from playing it over the years. Now, I think we looked it up that this was a 2013 or 2012. Good night, Ashley. This was a 2012 Takamine. And he had played it quite a bit in the beginning. Not as much the last few years, but it did have some gunk on there just from playing it. And we're just trying to get anything that might be on the surface and might have gotten, bedded up against those corners of the frets when we had the tape there. What's nice about a dedicated wood cleaner is it's not going to be very harsh. And it's going to have things in there to help nourish it. And it's going to dry fast because you do not want something that is going to stay wet for a long period of time. Just going to keep going over this, get it nice and clean. If any of you guys ever thought you'd be watching Jazamby polish his wood on video, well, you'd be right. Here we are. We're going to go a little bit heavier here on the bottom frets where he definitely played a lot more. All right. Now I like to grab a paper towel for this because paper towels soak up moisture and wetness far more than microfibers do. Microfibers just don't soak up as well. Just gonna wipe that nice and clean. I'll get one more clean one. Oop. And then I like to go back and forth on the frets like I was polishing them. Because what that does is it almost takes this stuff, gives it just a hint of a shine, and it allows you to see if there's any more finger goo in the frets that's showing up. It kind of reveals it for you, which is nice. And I like that. And you can see, like, there's still dirt coming off of that. Right? Just keep flipping to a nice clean side. And we're cleaning any kind of excess polishes off of the frets just from what we were doing before with the polishes. We're getting all that off of there. If there was any excess, you don't need the any, like, you know, whatever, silicones or anything like that, polymers or anything on here. It's metal frets. You just want to see the work you did. Alright. Now this fretboard is nice and clean. I'm going to look at it. And I am not seeing any crud. It is looking good. There's no more crud, but you can really start to see that wood grain nicely. Now just go in some little circles with a clean microfiber. Just to get any wood streak or streaks from the wood cleaner out of here. Very nice. Alright, and since we have the cleaner out, I'm going to pop these pegs out. And that one dropped. We're going to put this over here. And then I'm going to see, now these, the saddles are really in there. And I don't want to pull apart, but I just want to see if maybe I need a little bit of a pliers. Yep, there we go. Just to pop them out a little bit. I don't want those in there, trapping any kind of moisture. Ah, the ground is going to be attached to that one. Alright. That one we'll leave there, that's fine. Add the metal there too. Come on now. Oh. Even that's raised up a little bit. It's really not a big deal. I can get it back in later. But now it's not gonna. Now it's gonna drive me crazy. We'll leave them out for now. Alright, I just wanted to take this toothbrush with a little bit of this wood cleaner again. I'm gonna spray it directly onto the toothbrush. Just to very lightly hit this bridge. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let's move that over. I'm just lightly scrubbing this bridge a little bit. Gentle. If you're wondering, this is a soft bristle toothbrush. Very generic toothbrush. Now I see that the ground wire for the pickup is connected to that saddle there. So we're going to leave that in place. But we just want to clean that up a little bit. And we'll wipe it up. And we are getting a little bit of dirt off of that. Just a little bit. Just to get it nice and bare. Alright. Let that air out a little bit. Nope. Now you can buy a bunch of different oils and things like that as well for these. There's, I mean, tons and tons and tons and tons of options. And you can literally use a wood oil like Pledge if you need to. You don't need to buy a fancy schmancy fretboard wood, because that's what this is. It's all the same stuff. For the most part, they might have a little bit different formula, but what also works that never fails, coconut oil. Coconut oil is nice and thick, penetrates well. Coconut oil is absolutely fantastic for wood. And a lot of your wood oils are going to have coconut oil in there. And lemon oil. You can use lemon oil. And then there's a lot of good brands that make guitar ones. Get whatever you like. As long as you're replenishing that wood. And getting it nice and moisturized. Wow, this is a really cool fretboard. Very cool. We're just going to let the air hit this a little bit before we start doing that. Good old Expert Care Wood Oil. Moisturize and revives. Amber and argan. Very, very light. Nothing crazy. Your good old Pledge, man. But you want the oil, not the cleaner. And we're just going to hit that very lightly. There's my paper towel. And we're just going to use our finger to kind of spread it around in there. Now this will have a few other things in it other than just coconut oil that'll help with this. So we're just going to let that soak on there for a bit. I'm taking some of this, I'm putting it onto the bridge back here. Just hit some of that bridge back there. Again. And we're just going to let that chill for a bit. See all the little glue on here from the tape? Don't worry. That will all come off. All come off later. Take another little sip of beer here. Cheers, everybody. Happy Sunday. Thanks for watching if you did tune in. And thanks for watching if you're watching this afterwards. I appreciate it. wipe up this bridge first. Lightly with the paper towel. We're going to go along the neck. Now this next part is important because you want to fold the edge of your paper towel nice and tight and go up against the edge of the fret. And kind of push hard in there. Because the pledge is a little more liquidy, you don't want that seeping down in there. Now it does, again, this is not a heavy lemon oil. This is a lot airier and it's going to dry much faster, so you don't really have as much of a risk of that. Anyways. But you don't really want it to be too wet near those frets. So we're just balling up the edge of this paper towel. Making sure we're pushing up against the fret nicely. Soaking up anything that might be near the edge of that. Now these frets were all level. They were all pressed in very nicely. So I'm not worried about anything like lifting or anything crazy like that. Dropped our paper towel inside of the guitar though. A little bit in our little nut slots. Give that a wipe. Now you can see it really doesn't super oil it up like a lemon oil or something like that does. It just got some other stuff in there that'll help nourish it a bit. It's just like a little preliminary. Now we'll grab our microfiber again. Yeah, that fretboard is really starting to look nice now. You could probably see that it's darkened a bit on camera. It is really starting to look good now. Really starting to see a lot of that, almost like I don't want to say metallic, but just a natural wood shine that just looks great. These frets are really looking nice. All right. Now, what I think is going to be the last thing of the night, we'll check our bump over here again. It looks like it's higher up, so I think that's going to be good. But now we're going to do coconut oil. Good old coconut oil. So you can see that here. This is going to be Simple Truth brand. Organic, unrefined, virgin coconut oil. Boom. Here we go. Oh man, it's way deep down in there too. I'm gonna have to use this toothbrush. Scoop some up. There we go. That's a lot. Good old coconut oil, man. You don't necessarily need a ton of it. You can tell if you're not using enough because it's not spreading well and it's not hitting everything. And you can tell when you have too much in one spot because it starts building up against the edges of the frets there. Just work it in. And let that sit. Just like that. Now I'm going to take a little bit more, another little dab off this toothbrush here. And we're going to put some onto the bridge. Don't worry, it's not going to hurt the surface of the guitar at all. And of course, we're gonna go back and clean that up. Wow, really brought out the wood grain in the bridge here. Freaking sweet. Alright, we're just gonna let that sit on there. Coconut oil is getting low. That's all you need right there. Now the headstock is clear coated. That is not bare wood there, in case you're wondering. And we're gonna let that sit for a couple seconds there, huh? Looks like I need another beer. Because then we'll probably just wipe this stuff up. I'll check on that crack, which I think is probably fine now. I don't know if once we sand it, if it's going to look like the crack isn't there anymore, or if it's just going to look like we filled it in with clear, you know? I'm not sure exactly how it's going to turn out. But that's what I had under my impression. That's what I thought it was going to be. But we'll see what happens. If it fills in, pulls it together. At least it's fixed and it's not going to be at risk of really breaking apart anymore. That's the main thing. Cheers, everybody. Happy Sunday. Good old PBRs tonight. I'm going to have to probably get some little Q-tips and clean off these. There's like electronics right here, too, for the pickup. I'm going to get in there and clean that up a little bit. May need to get a little can of that compressed air. Maybe and do that. We got Donald Driver looking at me over here. Just staring at me over the corner here. What's up, dude? Alright, let that chill a little bit. I'm going to get the bridge first, just because I made a bit of a mess back here on the body. And you know what? If you like coconut, you like coconut oil, you'll enjoy this part because it smells amazing. It smells great and it's really good for everything. My wife says it's great for like your skin, hair, nails, everything. It's just great for you. So, not bad to put on there. Let's see that bridge there. Now shining. Looking really nice. There's a box here, so I can't put it low. There we go. Bridge is looking great. You can really see the wood grain in it now. So much nicer. Looking very, very cool. I'll put this down. A little bit about the guitar, if anyone is wondering. Again, it is a Takamine. I don't know how to pronounce that correctly. G6720CE in natural. And I'm pretty sure he got this for around $1,000. Maybe it was like $900 or something like that in 2009. I'm assuming used on the used market around like $500 ish or so, but I think new they're still selling for $800 or $900. It's just a bigger bodied guitar. It's an electric acoustic with a cutout. It has a really, really warm sound. It has a solid spruce top, and then it has flamed maple back and sides, all solid. And it just gets this big, large, warm tone. It sounds incredible. Especially with a fresh set of crystally, beautifully strings on it, man. Nice, fresh set of strings. Really bring out the highs and the mids in it. Sounds incredible. Really fun guitar to play. Especially if you like playing big chords. It does have a little cutout there. If you like to shred up high a bit, you can have fun shredding on your acoustic. It is possible. I do actually prefer my guitar, for faster playing. I think it has a better tone for metal and more crunchy stuff if you feel like doing that. But this one, if you want to play big, grand sounding chords, I mean, it's incredible. Look at that. Oh man, the natural wood color in this, really looking good. Very, very cool patterning going on. This has brightened up a lot. Look at that. Oh, I definitely will, man. I definitely will be playing this for you guys. I might just like sit and play for a while. Might play for like an hour. But this, the grain in it really turning out nice. The frets being polished really turned out well. Let's grab one more clean microfiber. Now, I will likely, once we're all done in a couple days, I'll probably do the coconut oil one more time just to freshen it up. We'll let this soak in there tonight. We'll do the sanding and everything tomorrow. I'll do another light layer of coconut oil at the very end. And we'll slap our strings on. There we go. I was wondering if maybe this nut was really low. It's probably going to be like impossible for you to see this. You're not going to be able to see that. And maybe that's where the buzz was from. It does seem the right height, but the slots maybe are dead low. It's really hard to tell. I'll have to measure once the strings are on, but I'm thinking just the nice polish and cleanup is going to fix that weird buzz. It was a very light buzz. I think it's just old low tension strings and dirty, shitty frets. We'll likely take care of it. And if we have to, I'll, with a fresh set of strings, I think it's gonna put some pressure on the neck that it'll probably go away with just that. But if we have to, put just a tad bit of relief in the neck, that'll probably fix it. If it doesn't, I'll go get him a new nut, slotted nut, and we'll pop that bad boy on there too. Yeah, dude, these frets really turned out nice. Dean's theme, we definitely gotta play Dean's theme. Did he use baby oil? I use coconut. Should we put some baby oil on it? There we go. I was gonna say there was like a few that were just a tad sharp, but I'm not doing ball ends, guys. I've learned how to do that with the right. I don't have the right file to do nice ball ends. I'm not there yet, but we can get them nice and cleaned up like that anyway. There we are on that anyway. Let's flip this around. Here's the back. Might as well show you this real quick. I can't set it down, but it's a really nice flamed maple, like blonde. All on the sides as well. The sides are all flamed maple. Really, really pretty. Solid spruce top. Very, very cool. I'm going to set this on here. And now looking at our crack. Let's see here. Let's look at our crack here. Look at our crack. It's definitely okay. It's dry. It's definitely higher up This one where it got the biggest douche, again, I feel like sunk in again. It needs a little more. The rest of this, I think, is fine. The rest of that seems fine. Let's grab that again one more time. Our Q-tip is now stuck to it completely. Okay, let's grab another one. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that, man. We'll have to use baby oil next time we're polishing our wood. And again, number 10, Stumac. Water glue, basically, right there. We are just going to lay that over the top of where it was really deep. Yeah, now I'm just going over all of it. Just in case there was a little air bubble that sucked down. It's not going to hurt it. I'll be able to get it off. Alright. I'll leave that back over there. Yeah, this is looking nice. Bridge is looking good. All the little metal components, the tuners, everything, they all got to get polished up. Neck's sweating a bit. We're going to hit that one more time. I mean, it's not literally sweating, but you can see where it hasn't soaked up some of the remainder. We're going to give that a quick wipe. You don't want to leave too much moisture on it. I know that sounds stupid, but it's true. You don't want to leave too much. Just lift that up. You'll see the rest of it soak in, and there'll just be little dots left over that look like oil moisture. You just want to wipe that up. You could let it soak down, but we're going to do it again later anyways. Just give it a wipe. Man, doing some bends on these frets is going to feel beautiful. Glassy smooth. There we go, man. You said some very sus things tonight. I know I did. I probably did. I mean, as I'm saying half of this shit, I realize how horrible it sounds. That's what happens when you're working with your own wood, you know what I'm saying? I am going to peel this tape off. And I will retape it tomorrow. I don't want this shit sitting on here, slowly bonding itself. I actually won't even need to retape it. I'm just going to tape up a razor blade so that there's only a little sliver. We'll shave off the very top part, and then we will sand the rest. It's the main part right there. Now it is lifted up above everything. It is up. Yep. See what happens with that. Who knows? We should be alright, but we do get a new, we got a nice StewMac sticker. So there we go. We got a little sticker. There it is. Put it on there. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I don't even know how to ship a guitar. If I sell a guitar, I will just put it on Facebook Marketplace. And hopefully they come pick it up. Yeah, no. I would do your guitar, but I don't know. I mean, the whole shipping back and forth is what I'd be really worried about. Because if something happened in the mail to your guitar or something, I'd be really bummed out about that. If you live nearby, I'd give it a shot. This thing's going to sound great, though. I'm excited. I will play it for you, too. I'll have to play mine next to it so that you know you can hear the difference. I got super glue on my fingers right now, just a little bit. We got mine right here. And I also had done my fretboard and everything on here. Brand new strings. She sounds beautiful, boys. But we will play it next to that. I'll pull out a pick when we actually play with that one. I just got super glue on the tips of my fingers. But she sounds good. Anyways, guys, I think it's time to wrap it up. I think we're done with the guitar for the night. I appreciate you guys for stopping in. Looks like we are at 2 hours, 57 minutes, 11 seconds. So, and I think it actually cut out once before. I don't know if that's correct. But, we've gone for 3 hours at least right now. I think I started at about 8 o'clock. Yeah, 9, 10, 11. We're at 3 hours tonight. I expect to be doing this again tomorrow night. So watch for that, and then it'll be another one after that. So I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you. We will play you out with the old Jazamby theme song. In the words of the Great Panther Breaks, guys. Peace. All right, guys.
Good night.
We'll see you next time.